Hi, how you doing? And welcome back to another video from Average FPL. Well, we finally did it, cracked the top 1 million rank, which has been an aim for the whole season, really. Didn't get off to a great start, so now to be in that rank is awesome. And it only just happened in the 97th minute of the Man United game where Bruno Fernandes decided to score. I captained him. Up till then, I was regretting it, thinking I should have captained Bowen. Um, but now Bruno Fernandes got that goal and got 12 points across the two games for the game week. And, obviously it would have been better to captain Bowen. He would have got 2 extra points, but that is splitting hairs. And at that stage, I'm just grateful for that goal at the end. And it just goes to show what a small margin it is. Because without that, I probably would have got like 8 points for Bruno Fernandes, maybe 10, and I've got 14 more points because of that goal. And yeah, just small margins. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. You can increase your luck by playing the odds and predicting, the likelihood of things happening, but ultimately, it's out of your hands once the games get underway. So yeah, apart from that, Bruno Fernandes having Bowen was a great help. Madison got an assist, so all the midfield returning, and great defensive efforts as well. Liverpool clean sheet, Man United. Um, Luke Shaw got a clean sheet in the second game. He did get booked, but it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? And Edison kept a clean sheet in his one game for Man City. Strikers not so good. Maybe need to have a rethink about that when I wild card eventually, whenever that is. Um, so yeah, pretty good game week. My actual game week rank was just outside the top 400k. So obviously, whenever you're doing that out of about 8 million players, that's going to be positive. And there we have it, that rank. Maybe take a screenshot of it for my screensaver or something. I'm inside the top 1 million, also inside the top 950k. So hopefully we can keep building on it. The positivities, I'm feeling it. And with this double game week coming up, it'll be really interesting just to look at the possible permutations and things in play as to how I can possibly improve further. Because now I'm here, I want to stay there. So looking at the fixtures this week, these double game weeks, what we're actually going to do is we're going to talk about my team, what I'm thinking of, and then I'm also going to look at a potential free hit team if I was free hitting this week, who I would put in, and hopefully that will help you guys as well. If you're looking at free hitting, um, it might give you a bit of an insight into who to maybe select, or if I'm selecting them, maybe it will put you off. But either way, hopefully, give that information. So yeah, lots of double game weeks here. Your main teams that you're looking to target, I would say Arsenal, Liverpool. Those are the two main teams. You've really got some other teams that are maybe you might be shoehorning them in just because they've got a double game week. So we will talk about that in a second. My team for this game week, as it stands, is this. Now the transfer I'm going to make is going to be Bruno out and Salah in, and I'm going to potentially triple captain this week as well. I had talked previously about using a free hit for this game week, but I look at my team and I'm thinking, you know what? That's pretty good as it is. I don't necessarily need to use a free hit for this one. Players like Madison and Bowen, they've got good fixtures already. Same with Luke Shaw. And, I think sometimes we we think too much about these double game weeks. Like, yeah, you've obviously got twice as many chances to score, but if you're getting someone like Salah, you also need to factor in that he's back from Africa Cup of Nations. He's got Champions League starting soon. Is he gonna play both those games, those Premier League games? Um, I'm not too sure. I'm gonna get him in obviously because the upside is too much. But my point is that can you do that? Can you cover those sorts of Salah bases without using a free hit? Can you do it using transfers? I'm always reluctant to take a 4 point hit or more, just because I think if you manage your team quite well, then you can avoid doing those. Barring any injuries or obviously a lot of fixture cancellations that have been happening in the past season and a bit. But generally speaking, I feel like if you can plan ahead, you can avoid that. I'm actually thinking if I was going to captain someone this week, maybe I captain Trent. I think he's more certain to start than someone like Salah, which I know seems crazy, but they're playing Norwich and Leeds, both at home. They are great fixtures. Trent doesn't have much competition for his position. If he gets 2 clean sheets, which is a really strong possibility, you're looking at 12 points there. Triple captain that. Okay, that's 36 points already. Potential bonus for keeping a clean sheet, plus those sort of bonus points he'll get from his attacking plays. All he needs there is an assist or a goal against either of those teams, and you are really looking at sort of over 50 points. Now that to me is massive, and that is obviously such a I've really worded that in a really convenient way to try and convince myself to captain him, and that's clearly a best case scenario. But I also don't think that asking for 2 clean sheets against those teams is crazy. Um, I think it's just as likely as Salah playing 2 90 minutes. And obviously Salah's the sort of player that could score a hat trick against Norwich, and then even if he didn't play against Leeds, you might be thinking, well, it doesn't matter because I've got my 20 points, and then I've got 60 points straight off of there. So I think I'll be umming and ahhing about that one right up to the deadline on who to captain, and I feel like because I'm not using a free hit, I think I might use my triple captain this week as well, on a Liverpool player, either Salah or Trent. Um, Outside of that, I've got a good few double game weeks. I'm not too fussed about getting in more Watford players, you know, or more Burnley players, even Spurs players. I'd rather have players like Madison, Bowen, Shaw, players that have got reasonable fixtures, players like Bowen who are on great form. Like I wouldn't recommend taking out Bowen for someone who's got a double game week just because that other player's got a double game week. Like I think if he's on form, and he's got a good fixture, keep him in, which is kind of what I mean. Don't shoehorn in those double game weekers. So with that in mind, um, if I am going to free hit this week, or if you're going to free hit this week, this is my free hit team, my sort of dream team for free hitting. So obviously, when I did this, I was looking at price points, and obviously say like on my sheet here on my team, I've had Trent in for a while. I know Trent's price isn't 8 million; it's 8.5 million. But I did calculate this against your standard 100 million budget with the current player prices, and it should still fit in terms of what we've got there. So what I was really looking at was, I've sort of shredded down the bench. There's not many bench options. I've gone all in with the starting 11. We've got triple Arsenal, triple Liverpool. They are the teams to target, in my opinion. Okay, I've gone for Ramsdale and Ben White. I think they're great price points. Arsenal have kept 5 clean sheets in the last 7 Premier League games, and they're playing Brentford and Wolves. And I looked at the league table, and Brentford and Wolves, out of all the Premier League teams, they're 2 out of the lowest 7 scoring teams. Okay, so out of the 7 teams that have scored the least amount of goals, Brentford and Wolves are 2 of them. So you combine that with Arsenal's recent form of clean sheets, and I think if you're free hitting, you've got to get those Arsenal defenders in. Ben White is sure to play, potential threat as well from corners, and Ramsdale is going to get you save points anyway, and he's shown previously that he's got the potential to save penalties as well. I think Liverpool have the 2 best fixtures you could ever wish for in a double game week with Leeds and Norwich, and I think if you're going to go to that extent of getting Liverpool players in, then you've got to go big. And I think Van Dijk and Trent, you could easily try and get in, Mane as well, maybe looking at you thinking, well, what are you getting Kane in for when you could get Mane in? And yeah, take your point. But I'm looking at players that are also going to play, and Van Dijk and Trent are definitely going to play both those games, you would think, bar any injury or unforeseen circumstances. So you've got your clean sheet sorted there. Luke Shaw, Leeds, I think he's a reasonable player to still get in. You might say, look, let's save some money there and invest it elsewhere in the team. But I've not gone for a full team of double game week players for what I said previously, and the fact that if you've got a player that you know is going to play, got a good fixture, play him. Play him. You don't have to shoehorn in double game week players just for the sake of it. And then I've got a Marty there who does actually play for Leicester. I would probably have him or Gilmore as my first bench options. Um, but he's just really cheap, just as a sort of an enabler to get more expensive players in. Smith Rowe is there. If you've got enough funds, you could maybe go Saka or Odegaard. Um, you know, either one of those three players, I think, would be a great option this week for Arsenal. And then we've got Brownhill, Gilmore there. Both play, but again, cheap options just to allow some bigger hitters in. Salah speaks for itself. Lots of people will be triple captaining Salah this week. I think it's important to bear in mind that unless I'm wrong, if you free hit, you also can't use your triple captain. I don't think you can use two chips in the same game week. So before you free hit, thinking, I'm going to free hit and get in Salah and triple captain him, you won't be able to triple captain Salah if you also free hit. So the only way you could triple captain him is by getting him in on a transfer. Then I've gone with Bowen. I think Newcastle, Bowen is in fantastic form. I think you've just got to get him in just on the case that he scores. And I've gone with Watkins there. So Aston Villa, no double game week, but they are playing Watford at home. And I think Watford are just all over the place. I think if you were going to target a fixture, I think if you were playing Watford at home, that is a great fixture to target. Aston Villa attacker. Aston Villa turn the form around a bit. Okay, the chance to score goals. Why not? And then Kane has a double game week. Sure, he's playing Man City away, but then he's also playing Burnley in the second one. And you've just seen with players like Bruno Fernandes, if you get a chance, okay, as a double game week, get them in if you think they're going to score. If Spurs are going to score, they could score against Man City, you never know. Kane could be amongst the goals, especially when they play that other game against Burnley. Finally, we've got Josh King there. You could swap him out for Dennis if you think Dennis is going to score more. But Watford have got a double game week. I'm not a massive fan of Watford at the moment, but Aston Villa away, Crystal Palace at home is not the worst fixtures in the world. And if you fancy taking a bit of a risk, or he's quite a good option in terms of price point, I don't see the harm in there. So let me know what you think of my strategy in terms of captaining Trent or Salah, or triple captaining Trent or Salah. What do you think about my free hit team there? Would you make any changes, or do you think I've absolutely smashed it? That's just really for you guys in terms of just to give you some ideas and some options. But yeah, thank you very much for listening. Please subscribe or like the video. Any support is greatly appreciated. Good luck in this game week. Hopefully you make the most of your double game weeks and you get just as lucky as I did with Fernandes in the last game week. And I'll see you in the next one.